Hey, what's going on, y'all? I kind of wanted to dive into the taking care of the child again because I made a video. I despise child support, and I thought I was gonna hit the nail on the coffin. I did make some good points. That I believe I made some good points, but I felt like I can get more detailed now that I really sat down and thought about it. Um, and I was talking about how the guy, if he's the one paying to avoid child support, we got to look at things long term, not short term. Everybody wants a quick return on their investment, even when it comes to kids. They're like, the kid needs this, the kid needs that. I got to pay bills. I got to do that, right? And so, and I was thinking about a situation that a conversation that I had with a guy when I was doing Uber. It was a long time ago when I used to pick up people. When I first started doing Uber, not just when I was doing Uber. I don't know how, if it was the middle first and whatever. And the guy got in the car. He was a foreign guy. I don't know where he was from, but he wasn't from America. But he had been here for a long time, of course. And he was happy, and he was saying, man, me and my wife, we just paid off our house. I'm so happy. We have kids. We doing this and doing that. And I was just thinking, okay, you paid off the house. That's something everybody strive for. Then he told me that he had a 30-year mortgage. He paid his house out, I think, in between 10 years and 15 years. I said, now that is exciting. Now that is something I need to know about. You had a 30-year mortgage and you paid it off half the time that it was supposed to be paid off. Now he got my attention. Now I'm listening because I'm intrigued. I said, how did you do that? He said, well, what we did is the house that we got, we calculated up our bills. I made sure that I can afford to pay all the bills. And then when I was able to pay all the bills, every check that my wife got, and he said every check, she just put it on the mortgage. Every payday, the mortgage. Because she was paying on the because not only she was paying the mortgage, she was paying on the principal. You're breaking the principal down to the point that you're gonna, because the principal goes up over the years, that's the interest that you're paying. So she was breaking the principal down and paying the mortgage at the same time. So if the mortgage, say her check covered the mortgage, one of her checks. So she paying the mortgage, boom. The next check probably is on the principal. Mortgage, principal, mortgage, principal, mortgage. And I was like, man, he said he married the right one. Because then she probably kept a little extra spending money. I don't know, but he made it seem like she took her check and paid for that. I'm sure she had to have a little spending money. But for the most part, he was telling me my wife's check went to paying off the house. My check went to taking care of the family and the kids. I paid all the bills, her check. I was like, now that's a partnership. And when I was thinking about this the other day, I thought about the video I did with the I Despise Child Support. The title, I just get people's attention or whatever, which I don't like child support, but it's tricky when you talk about child support because people automatically just think, oh, he just mad, or he don't want to take care of his kid, or he just, and I'm always trying to think about how to come up, how to make situations better. Especially, I was thinking about that with the kids these days. Now, it's hard for people to listen when, like, I was in the streets, I was doing all kinds of unnecessary stuff or whatever, but that was because of my situations. And then you try to make sure that your kids don't have those same situations. Depending on the significant other or the person you have kids with, sometimes your plans can't work because y'all not thinking on the same level. And the father is always going to take the blame anyway, so it really don't make a difference. But, so what I'm saying is, and people say, well, if you're going to put some money in a child's bank account every 2 weeks, why not pay child support anyway? Because that's what the child support doing, taking money from you every 2 weeks. It's a whole nother level. Mentally, it's different for one, and financially, it's different. If child support is taking $100 and something out of every paycheck, then that leaves very little room for you to do what you have to do, depending on what you get paid. Some people get paid big money. I wasn't getting paid big money. It's years ago, some old $8 an hour type stuff, sometimes $9 an hour. It's a long time ago. But I'm trying to get to the point. The point is, my point is, if I was able to, every payday, now she was taking care of my child. You know, I have a few kids. And they have different mothers. So I'm just going to use the word she, not they or whatever. But now if she was taking care of my child, I give that to her. And then every payday, I only put $50 straight into the child's bank account. See, now that leaves me money that when my kid comes over on the weekend, we can go do things. I can still buy shoes and stuff like that. It's still child support. It's just now the kid is getting money directly in their account and I'm still helping out buying stuff, right? So the kid is still benefiting from both of the parents. Psychologically, the kid will only think the mother is only doing something for her when the mother's getting the child support or whatever and the mother is doing whatever she do. And then I'm like, I can't afford to keep on buying stuff if you're taking over $100 and something out of each check. And then I had multiple kids, so it wasn't just that one kid, right? So psychologically, it's messing with all of the parties, the mother, the child, and because the mother's like, you can't do anything else, and you thinking like, no, financially I can't. And the child is looking like, mom is just taking care of me, and dad ain't doing nothing. They might know you paying child support, but they still gonna call you when they mom might have to pay bills or whatever, so they're gonna call you, Dad, can I get these shoes? And he's like, no. They're like, he'll never do nothing for me. So it's messing up the whole circle, right? But if I was able to pay $50 every 2 weeks into my child's bank account, right? And then that leaves me money, so when my kid comes to me and say, hey, can I get these pair of shoes? Can I do that? I still have money to do that, right? And not only that, but you can't just get a bank account for a child and then spend the money, and when the kid turns 18, the kid has still no money, right? So I think far ahead. I'm a critical thinker. I don't just think, okay, the kid got a bank account, because it makes no difference if the kid has a bank account and then when the kid turns 18, they still have nothing. That makes no sense to me, right? So now every child's father ain't gonna do right. So when I talk about stuff like this and people are like, what if he do this? And what if he do that? I don't like even talking what ifs, because if the person don't do what they supposed to do, y'all can't work nothing out anyway, and ain't nothing gonna go right. You know, what if he stopped taking care of the kid? What if he stopped doing what he's supposed to do? Then you resort to child support. All that what if stuff, it just prolongs progress, right? So the story about the man, that remind me of child support. He said, I'm taking care of everything. And she like, I'm paying for the house. Now, somebody who don't think smart or they're not a critical thinker, they're like, what if she paying for the house? That might as well be her house. That is stupid thinking. Like, this is a team. He's taking care of the kids and the family and her, and she's buying the house. This is what a team does. And they paid it off early. Now they can put their kids through college and not even have to worry about no mortgage or anything. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to think for the long term. Because one mistake, one bad decision can mess up everything. And you can blame who you want to blame or whatever, but if you don't think critically, one mistake and have a person feeling some type of way, or the other person, nah, you getting the child support, why should I spend other money? Like, depending on how much a person makes, it might make sense. No, even if you're not buying the kid nothing every 2 weeks, if you're taking money out of a person's check every week or every 2 weeks, how does he have enough money to pay bills? And he might have another family. So he got a kid over here and then he living with somebody else and she might got kids or whatever. And then it's just a big mess. Oh, he's taking care of those kids, but he ain't taking care. And it might not even be nothing what's coming out of both sides' mouth. it just be a simple fix. I'ma send money directly to my kid's bank account every 2 weeks. Hold it down. And then if that other mother sees the value in that, she can send $50 or $25 every 2 weeks. So now, it ain't about the father taking care of the kid. They have to take care of the kid. I hate when I hear he need to take care of his kid. No, we need to take care of the kid. So it ain't about how much money I'm spending, because we both need to do this. Now, if school closed, we both can. We both can sit down like, okay, well, how much you think the kid might need for some school clothes? Like, well, let's, how much pants cost or whatever. And she might like, I think I want to spend $150 on school clothes. And they might come up to an agreement like, well, $150. The man might be like, I'll give you $100, and she might say, okay, I'll do the $50. It's still a partnership, right? It's teamwork. But if you just keep on talking about what another person's supposed to do, or they ain't doing enough or whatever, it's going to always be problems. Ain't no getting around it. And I feel like I'm trying to warn people ahead of time who have a young child, who don't have a child yet, but they want kids or whatever. They might hear this and say, I don't agree with what he's saying, but I got a plan that might work just as good. But the thing is to have a plan. I didn't even have a plan. I just, I'm young, I want some kids, It happened, and I was a father, and then I had to figure things out. No plan, and I don't even know if my child's mom had any plans. We was young or whatever. But my point is, if people work together, that child can be better off. Now, y'all might put all that money and make sure the kid is good, and the kid get 18, 19 and blow it all on cars and rims and all that. Yes, would you be pissed off? You're supposed to be pissed off. But the thing is, hopefully the kids see the value in what y'all doing and they learn off of it. Which comes to another thing, stock. I've been looking into stock more often. I've been learning about it and everything. And I've noticed a bank account is stock is just as valuable as a bank account, right? So if you even start a kid a stock account at a young age, by the time they're 21, they can be, I'm not going to say a millionaire, but they can be so well off. They can have $500,000 or more. Because stock, it grows, it falls down, it grows, it falls down. I'll talk about some stock or whatever on another, because I'm still learning about it. I'm going to talk about stock on another video or whatever, because the stock, man, it's fascinating. So all I want to do is let y'all know that this child support stuff is deep. If y'all can work it out to the point that you funnel, and I said funnel, and I like some criminal stuff. You feeding money into the child's bank account at a young age or at a kid, and y'all still co-parenting it. Somebody might say, well, $50 ain't enough. $50 ain't enough for what? If you put a number on it, of course, it's all about the money. You're not gonna accomplish nothing. I can give you $200 every 2 weeks. And when the child turns 18, bank account still empty, and you still working check to check. You see what I'm saying? No plan, you will end up with nothing. You might save some money. People might be smart enough to have a little money or whatever, 401k or whatever. But the goal is for everybody to be financially stable, including the child. If you're not financially stable, the goal is to make sure that your child doesn't have to struggle or go through what you went through, so you put your child in a better situation that you was left in. Start the bank account. Don't have that man on child support, especially if the man wants to help with the child. 9 out of 10, he's probably ain't supposed to be on child support. A person that's not going to help, or who's not going to put money into the account, that's probably the person that need to be on child support, because they ain't thinking about the child. Now, see, that should make your decision when you get pregnant or whatever. Have that conversation. Hey, I want to start the kid a bank account. If you say no, or why, or this, you might gonna have some problems. But if he like, okay, as soon as the baby born, we get the Social Security card, birth certificate, and we can do, we can start a bank account or whatever. Y'all might, even if y'all break up and he's still funneling, and he's still putting that money into that bank account, y'all might be in a good situation and might not even realize it yet. But it was just on my mind. I wanted to talk about this again. Hopefully y'all have a better understanding or whatever. Because people, when they say, I don't want to pay child support, people look at it like, oh, he don't want to take care of his kid. No, I'm thinking long term. A kid, a child, you start putting $50, and I'm just talking about the father. Then the mother can put something in. She can put $10 every 2 weeks, and then father can put $50 every 2 weeks. I'm talking about when that kid turned 18, 21, that kid's supposed to be sitting right, and they don't have to be rushing and doing crazy. Maybe they can go to school. Maybe they can go to school. And I mean, I feel a certain way about college too, but we stand focused. Maybe they can get a trade or something. Maybe they can start a business. They got to be able to start on a better foot than you started on. I can go on for days, y'all. I just want to get that off my chest to be more descriptive and get to the point why I feel starting a kid a bank account and everybody putting money in it instead of child support or whatever is better beneficial for everybody. And do low numbers. Reason why I say 50, because people can still live and still take care of business and not miss $50 every 2 weeks, not miss $25 every 2 weeks. And they can still do for their child. But if they put in 150 or whatever every 2 weeks, they still got to live. They got bills, everything. Now it interferes with doing for the child, because financially they paying $300, giving you $300 every. And then if they got more kids, they paying more than that a month. And then you still want shoes and all the other stuff. All right, y'all. I hope I got to the point. I hope I made myself a little clearer. I'll talk about some stocks and other stuff. I'm still learning about it and everything. Hopefully the next video will be something about stocks or whatever. If not, it'll be a video coming talking about stocks. All right. Take care of your business, and your business will take care of you. All right, y'all.